Hey, my name is Tina. I'll be teaching you mathematics for grade 7 to O levels under the GCSE Cambridge curriculum. I have been teaching for around 2 years and I have been teaching online for around 7 months. And I'm currently an undergraduate student learning Bachelor's of Mechanical Engineering. So when I'm doing my teaching, I'll be hoping to teach you the theory as well as to give you the experience of real world applications where that theory is used. So today in the demo, we'll be discussing about the Pythagoras relationship and I'll be giving some examples where we can use the Pythagoras relationship in the real world. So let me share my screen. Right. So, learning about the Pythagoras theorem, before we come to the Pythagoras theorem, I want you to understand how to identify the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse side of a right angle triangle for a given angle. So, you will later understand why I said for a given angle. So, now consider the right angle triangle where the angle beta is given. So, let me take the diagram where you have the sides marked. So, in here, what we'll be doing is, let me take the pointer. So in here, you can see the right angle in here, and this is the angle beta. So the theory is that the opposite side for this right angle will always be the hypotenuse. So now in this case, the opposite side for the right angle is C, and that will be the hypotenuse. And the opposite side for the given angle beta is A, and that would be the opposite. And the remaining angle will be B, remaining side will be B, which is the adjacent side. Consider the angle beta. If you consider this angle beta, let me choose another color. Right. So in this case, if you choose this angle alpha, now the opposite side for this alpha will be B. So in this case, this would become the opposite side. And the opposite side for this right angle will be C, and that will be the hypotenuse itself. And the remaining side will be A, and now this will become the adjacent. So now you can see either you choose angle alpha or beta, the hypotenuse will not change. It will be always the opposite of the right angle, that would be C in this case. Either you choose alpha or beta, the hypotenuse side, which is C, isn't changed. So now you have a clear idea about how to choose the opposite, adjacent, and hypotenuse sides of a right angle triangle. So let's move on for the next slide. So now we'll come with the Pythagoras relationship. So in here, the relationship is a squared plus b squared equal to c squared. So I'll be doing a small review on the proof because I'll be discussing further on the review when we are on classes. But in this case, because of the time we have, we'll be doing a small review on this. So just imagine you have three squares which are corresponding to the given sides A, B, and C. Just imagine this is a square where you have the side C, and here this is another square where you have the side B, and this is going to be another square where you have the side A. So now what are the areas of these? This is going to be A squared, this is going to be B squared, and this is going to be C squared. So what the Pythagoras relationship is saying, when you add these two smaller squares, it will be equal to this larger square. They are saying these two smaller squares, when you add, this will become the area of this square, which has the area of C squared. So that's what the Pythagoras relationship says. So keep in mind, either you add b squared plus a squared or a squared plus b squared, it should be definitely equal to the larger side, which is the hypotenuse containing side square. So that is, in this case, the c squared. So that's what the Pythagoras relationship says. Right. So now let's move on to the next slide where we'll be discussing the real world applications where we use the Pythagoras relationship. So talking about the real world applications, these are used in mainly in architecture, constructions, navigation, then again like when sketching maps and various other activities where you can use this Pythagoras theorem. But in this case, we'll be taking three examples and I'll be solving two of them. Here, I'll be considering this first case is the pyramid. So when we are building this pyramid, the Pythagoras theorem is normally used to make sure that this base is a square base pyramid. So this is a square base pyramid. To make sure you will use the Pythagoras relation so we can build up this right angle over here. So I'm not going to talk in detail because it has some little bit much more complicated stuff also involved in there. So we will move for the next two examples. In here, you have a ship, you have a lighthouse, you have the coast guard. So now you have the distance between ship to the lighthouse, which is unknown, that is x, and you have the distance between the coast guard to the lighthouse, which is going to be 400 yards. And you have the distance from the coast guard to the ship, which is 500 yards. So now you need to calculate the distance from the ship to the lighthouse. So you can build up the right angle triangle in here. So now you can use the Pythagoras relationship. So that's what I have done in here. So the relationship is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So I'm going to label this as a, this as b, and this as c. So I'm going to substitute the values, and when you simplify and when you make subject the x squared, you will get 90,000, and when you take the square root of it, you will get as 300 yards. So now you can see these are like real world applications where we use them. Rather than just drawing a right angle triangle and asking to find out the hypotenuse, maybe it's another missing side. Rather than solving those kind of questions, using this one in a real world scenario and teaching it, it makes you interest, and also it makes you encourage. It gives you encouragement to do uh, much and much these kind of questions. So in here, we'll be discussing throughout our lessons, throughout every theory parts, real world scenarios. So we'll be trying to use much as possible real world scenarios into our theory so that it will make interest for the student to learn, as well as you can have a good knowledge about the things going around the world as well. Right. So we'll move to our next example. So this thing you can be seen very often in your schools, maybe sometimes maybe at your home. But I know that none of you would think how much wood you would have been used to build up this staircase. So just imagine you want to build up this staircase, and you need a direct uh, portion of the wood to use for this length, right? So now you need to measure how what is the length of the wood you would need in here. So if you do not know the length, what you can do is you can mark the starting point of the staircase, and you can mark the ending point of the staircase, and then what you can do is you can just drop down a vertical line where you can represent the starting to this vertical height, and then you can measure the distance from that particular point to the starting point where you have, and build up this right angle. After you build up the right angle, what you can do is you can write down, you can mark these as a, b, and c, and you can measure this a and b. Already you have measured these two, so now you can use the Pythagoras relationship, which is a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and now you can write down the equations. So after you write down the equation and substitute the values, you can subject the c squared, which is the hypotenuse or the length of wood we need in this case. So when you subject it, you will get the answer as 84,100 centimeters squared, and when you take the square root of both the sides, you will get c is equal to 290 centimeters. So actually, the wood that we need to build up the staircase from this point to this point will be 290 centimeters length of wood. So you can see when we are doing when we are solving these kind of questions, it makes us interested to do mathematics as well. So hereafter, when you go out to the world, when you go out here and there, maybe you part, maybe to some parties or maybe to play, or just think of some objects or scenarios where you can use the Pythagoras relationship. And after you come back home, just try to guess what kind of theory would have been used. How can I use the Pythagoras relationship to these kind of objects? So in that case, you will become a self learner, and also it will be like a good activity for you all to develop your brain skills. So hope to see you soon on board with much more lessons and much more cool stuff. Thank you.